Welcome to the season finale of Season 2 in the driver career. Our first season probably of 2 at Ferrari, as we had signed a 2-year contract and we're almost certainly 99.5% sure that we're going to continue into that second season without breaking contract at the end of the year and looking to move elsewhere. The main reason for that is because we've won 3 races in a row. Vegas, Qatar Sprint and Qatar Main Grand Prix. The car is seemingly very competitive, although Vegas and Qatar are circuits where we expect it to be strong, similar to Azerbaijan and Belgium. The Singapore podium was completely unexpected, but Abu Dhabi will give us a better idea of potentially what might happen with regards the state of the car next season as we begin the year. But, of course, we have to factor in the regulation changes that are coming, but they're only affecting the powertrain, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for us. I think we have a very, very, very strong powertrain already, and we're looking very good in all other areas. I'm not anticipating, actually, there being that much of a mix-up with regards to the vehicle performance comparison next season. We are significantly ahead of those teams at the back, though, at the bottom. They are a long way down. Mercedes have dropped right off. Haas have supposedly the best car, Aston Martin the second, and ourselves there in third. And judging by the way that Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso and myself have been at the front in the past 2 or 3 races, kind of seems to make sense now for the first time. McLaren there as well, and Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have been there or thereabouts, haven't they? No specialists for this particular round of the championship. It's a regular Grand Prix weekend, so no sprint this time around, but we will be heading into Season 2 at the end, Season 3 at the end of this episode. So it's going to be a full-length bumper special as we have all of the end of the season stuff at the end of the episode as well. So do stick around, go and grab yourself a drink and a snack. Do drop the video a like as well, of course, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on Season 3 when it comes to you very soon. We'll be recording it at the beginning of next week over on the Twitch channel, so there's a link in the description down below to that, and of course to the YouTube streaming channel as well if you want to join me there instead. But for now, just going to go straight to practice. We've got enough resource points once we finish practice to continue upgrading the car in anticipation of the start of Season 3, so I'm a little bit... It depends how this race goes, but based on the past 2, I'm a little bit excited about Season 3 right now, and the chance of challenging for a World Championship at Ferrari. I know. This season still has something to play for, though. We're level on points with George Russell, so we want to stay above him. Mathematically, we can catch Carlos Sainz, but he'd need to have a terrible race weekend, and that's unlikely. We are 6 points clear of Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship, so that's a big point of contention today as well. We'd very much like to stay above Aston Martin by the end of the season. So, there's only one way to go and do that, and that's to be good on track. So, let's head to track. Practice complete, resource points acquired. Only 300 of them, unfortunately, as all specialists are unavailable for this particular race weekend, which is odd, I think. But I can't recall whether that was the case last year as well. I imagine it was. So we've got just under 800 resource points, I think that was there, to try and upgrade the car. We did only need about 600 or so, was it? For the rear downforce. I'm hoping it was about 600 or so. 756 for the front, so we could do that. I've got 10 in hand. Oh. Charles has gone and done it of his own accord. Thanks, pal. That's very handy. Well, I'll do the front then, shall I? Do I do the chassis? Weight redistribute. I can't afford the chassis. We won't do the chassis. Okay, fair enough. Front downforce upgrade on its way then. A major front wing downforce upgrade that, as you can see from the performance index, just next to me here, that's a big jump. Really big jump when that gets completed. Are we going to be challenging for a championship in Season 3 with Ferrari? We might be, you know. Heading to qualifying now. I've got a feeling we might even make it out of Q1 at this rate. I might have made it out of Q1. Oh. In the first 2 sectors, I was down on the driver in P16. We thankfully had enough in the tyre to get us through the third sector fast enough to get myself into the next session. I'm not on pace here. Half a second off Lando and Oscar at the top end. I'm 4/10 behind my teammate. I'm not as slow as I feared I might be, but Abu Dhabi's not a strong track for me. I'd be curious to know how far off I am in each sector. I only did one run. So I did a 17.3, a 34.9 and a 29.8. 69! Oh! Wow. So I'm significantly off in Sector 1. Maybe I just had a poor Sector 1 and there is some time to find there. 34.6 and a 29.9. I think I was faster. I think it was a 29.8, wasn't I, in the third sector? Yeah, so I was decent in the third sector. 34.9. They were 34.6, was it? 34.6, yeah, so I'm slow in sectors 1 and 2. Sector 1, I feel like I can find some time, genuinely. Sector 2, I think that's as good as I'm going to get. And Sector 3, apparently, I was decent. So maybe there's the chance of making it to Q3, but we might be going win, win, win. Struggle to get in the points. Oh, bugger. I still think we'll stay at Ferrari, but it's not going to be quite so overpowered as the last two races might have projected for next season, maybe. A bit of slide on exit. 17.1 is a much better first sector, though, than my first lap in Q1. My fastest lap in Q1. Oh, Gasly, don't get in the way, Pierre. Gasly with a huge lock-up. I did have to get out of the throttle a little bit through that chicane, but thankfully Pierre was able to get himself out of the way the majority of the way through. We are up on Sergio Perez through two sectors, but now the question is Pierre going to get in the way through the third sector? I certainly hope not. We'll be right tucked up behind him, and if he does, it might cost me lap time. Getting some aero wash from the back of that Alpine. Not able to get the throttle down as much as I might like to. Can't have a slipstream to the line though. The 22 flat, I think, is good enough. Oh! Oh! Just P10. We're through to Q3. Oh, holy moly, how close was that? I don't know whether I lost much time behind Pierre there at all. Exactly half a second behind Lando Norris. 2.5 tenths behind my teammate. Not massively out behind my teammate, pace-wise there, though. 22 flat is the fastest I've been all weekend so far, I think. Again, Sergio Perez out in Q2. This time it's Lewis Hamilton, not George Russell, that's out in Q2, which is annoying because George is the one that's level on points to me in the standings. Carlos Sainz P5, which is annoying because I really need Carlos to retire if possible. But we're not really going to get that lucky again, are we? Not going to be Las Vegas-esque. But K-Mag, Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, the men to beat, it seems, as we head into Q3 then. At least 3 to stand a chance of being anywhere near the front. I'm 2 tenths off through just the first sector of Carlos Sainz in 6th. Shaky third sector. Try and get to the line in a 21 something. It's a 21.6. It was a purple third sector, I think. It's P7. By far my best lap of the whole day, really. In terms of lap time, it didn't feel great, actually. I felt slow in the third sector, but actually it was purple, apparently. Lando's fallen off there. Max, Alonso, and Charles all in the 120.9s. We are not going to be winning a 4th straight race. I can certainly say that much for sure. Unbelievable, Jeff. We're ahead of George Russell, though, which is good news for us. So we're aiming to try and stay in P6. A reminder of the standings. Level on points with George Russell on 177, significantly behind Carlos Sainz. And Carlos Sainz, obviously, at present, is P4 in qualifying. Fernando in P2 and Charles Leclerc in P3. Lance in P6 and me in P7. The constructors' fight is going to be very, very, very close indeed if we end like that, isn't it? Firstly, I want to do it for me to finish ahead of George. Secondly, I want to do it for Ferrari to finish ahead of Aston Martin. I should probably feel the other way around, but you always got to think about yourself as a Formula 1 driver, don't you? Self-preservation comes first, and then the team comes second, really. Especially if there's a World Championship on the line for us next season. Into the race, though, we'll go. We've got the harder tyre allocation this weekend, so we'll have 2 sets of hards, 1 set of mediums, and the 1 set of softs that we saved from qualifying. Any penalties from anyone here would be lovely to see us start slightly. Oh, there are penalties because Sainz starts second. So that means that Charles Leclerc has taken a penalty. As well as Max Verstappen. I start 4th. Wow. So Lance Stroll has taken a penalty as well. We've jumped up 3 places. Oh, Leclerc's taken a big pen. Verstappen's only down to 8th. Leclerc starts 11th. Stroll in 14th. So the battle for the constructors is going to be very, very strong here. Lando down in 17th. Big pens for a lot of drivers. Gutted that my teammate is part of it. But starting P4. Oh, it reckons I can do a 1-stop. Some hard runners in the field. Some medium runners in the field as well. It reckons I could do a 2-stop here, a 1-stop even.
To give us the chance to get a good result today, I need you to do your bit and go out there and bring it home for us.
Do we do that the other way round? Do we do that the other way round? Could we be faster? 32 laps, then 26 laps on the mediums? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Would it be faster to add a stint and throw a set of softs in? Right at the death. I mean, 12 laps on the softs is going to be tough. Ooh. Do we try a 2-stop? Start on the hards, see how well they go. Actually, no, you know what? I'll start on the mediums. See how well they go, and then we can make a decision as to whether we do or don't go to a hard set after that or not. So, if the mediums are still in a good spot, we'll extend them from 22 a little bit further. The hards will go to the end from lap 22, though, that's for sure. Okay. Well, we'll look at a 2-stop. A 1-stop's probably faster. I'm gonna edit this one and see what they're like side by side. This is going to be quite complex, actually. So a medium hard. If we went 26 laps and then 32 laps, it is on paper quicker. I reckon I only needed about 100 kilos worth of fuel, but I will put 100.5 in just to make sure. So a 1-stop is faster, but a 2-stop is possible if we feel like we've got the opportunity for the extra stop, maybe for a fastest lap point if we need it for the Constructors' Championship. We'll start with the 1-stop then, because on paper it's quicker. But if the mediums are dying, we know we can pit early and switch to a 2-stop. So we have that in hand. We also have a spare set of hard tyres too. Just out of curiosity, what would that do for overall race time if we... Oh! So a two-stop with hard is significantly faster yet still. Medium hard is faster than a medium hard. Well, what we do then definitely depends on how well the medium tyres last. Well, that was complex, wasn't it? This is going to be quite the strategical masterclass, or failure. We shall wait and see what happens. We'll start then with the one stop again, knowing that one set of hards can take us to the end, but another set of hards could be viable, or maybe still the softs. Oh, Christ! Starting P4, let's see what we can do.
Okay, incredible.
Starting on the hard,
nice one. That's going
and
to give you the edge.
how well the hard tyres last
Starts.
depends on what strategy
Okay,
we
so
take.
that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those
We're in a
laps.
lofty P4, a P4 that I don't really feel like we deserve based on our pace in qualifying. But it's not a bad start at all, to be fair. We've got a run on Magnussen. I had to get on the brakes early. I'm going to lose a position to George here purely because Kevin was slow. I was faster and as such lost the position. That's peculiar. I've got Pierre Gasly behind me now, who's benefited greatly from the penalties to everybody else. So that hopefully will add a bit of a buffer behind, unless Verstappen and Perez are able to get past him quite quickly. They're both on mediums, the two Red Bull. We are going to be slow in a straight line. I know that for sure here because of the extra downforce we're running to keep the car as stable as possible. Oh my goodness. That was an interesting braking zone. Going to find it difficult to stick with here, I think. Obviously, DRS is active after one lap now in the 2024 season and onwards. So I need to make sure I'm within a second of Russell. Otherwise, he's going to get dragged along by the medium runners. And they will disappear. Carlos Sainz has already taken first place. Sainz running P1 in the Haas on the mediums. Both Haas's on mediums. Alonso on hard. Russell on hard. Myself on hard. Got to make sure we're within DRS.
That start was okay.
We're all right so far.
The threats around you. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within.
Already though, you can see how George is falling behind. George is already out of DRS range of the two in front of him. Fernando is going to get taken by the second Haas of Kevin Magnussen here, I'm sure of it. Fernando Alonso on the hard tyre is going to fall behind. And Russell on the hard tyre is going to be vulnerable now to me as well, down the next straight. Surely Kevin gets him. No, he doesn't. Fernando still with DRS on the car in front, just means that he's able to hold the position. George is just fast enough to stay ahead of me at the minute. It's good in the traction zones. I'm not so great in the hairpin nor the double chicane, or the chicane, sorry. Used to be a double chicane. Oh no, that was the double chicane, wasn't it? Oh Christ. The layout changes completely messed me up. George is vulnerable, but I'm going to have to make sure I am able to get the move done cleanly so that we can hopefully pull away from those behind. Gasly's still able to keep the place on the two Red Bull. That's vital, really. Front three are just going to disappear here. The two Haas's are going to be fast enough on their mediums to just gallop away. And then Fernando Alonso is going to get taken with them. He's going to have the pace in that Aston Martin, even though he's on a hard tyre, to just get dragged along. He might even be able to stay ahead of Kevin Magnussen. So far, it looks like that is going to be the case. I'm going to use a bit of battery here to try and close in on George Russell a little bit. Our car is better than the Mercedes. But George is a better driver than I am. And at the moment, because of that fact, he's able to keep the gap. And look, it's already nearly 3 seconds to Kevin in front. It is George. We're battling for P6 in the championship, Benny. You are correct. So this is actually a very important battle. Taking up both bollards there. Sorry. Oh, George is slow run there. Little tiny mistake from George Russell there. Right, we're much closer to George this lap than we were last. If I can be better around the hairpin, we might be able to get him a couple of tenths closer. It was about 6.5 last lap, it's now 3.5. I'll be able to get George here. Need to have a good exit, which we have gotten. He's slightly faster than me, but with battery and DRS now, I'm going to have to save some battery for the next straight. He's going to go defensive here, George. Going to try and get him all the way around the outside if we can. He's probably going to bounce over the barrier, so I'll give him some room, and he's cut across me there. George, we're lucky that neither of us got damage from that, pal. He's gone for close to the apex and not giving me enough room, really, to make it round. This is not only a battle for P4 in the race, but obviously P6 in the championship as well. We are level on points with George Russell in the World Drivers' Championship. So there is a lot on the line here. Gaps in front are giant already, going at about a second a lap. George is really slow in Sector 3. He is the head of a train at the minute. A train that I think I might be able to pull away from if we can just get this move done. We'll try again, next lap. Try and take George. Maybe use a bit more battery this time, get the move done earlier. There we go. Actually, I think I used less battery. I just had a better exit.
Nice move. Keep going.
Now, George will have DRS down this next part. But because we saved that battery, hopefully we'll be fast enough to stay ahead. And then through the third sector, I really want to try and gap if I can. Alonso's still holding on to P2 at the minute. He's doing very well. At the moment, you say that we are not getting on the podium with that gap being as big as it is already, but I wonder whether those medium runners are two-stopping. There might not be. I'll ask my engineer in a moment, but we're a bit preoccupied at the minute with just trying to gap George, which we have done quite well there. Now let's ask about the driver in front.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.7 seconds.
Not what I wanted to know about, Mark. I want to know this.
You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
That's not what I asked either. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
And gap to the car in front, 4.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops.
Two stops. They are two-stopping.
And the time last lap, 1 minute 25.7.
Okay, so medium runners are two-stopping.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 0.6 seconds.
That's great information to have. So I imagine they will be medium harding. I'll ask about George behind.
Russell behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops
he's
remaining.
two-stopping too.
Remaining. Your last lap time, 1:26.6.
Alright. Well, depending on what gaps are like and what tyre wear is like, I might overcut and try and one stop. Go hard medium.
Just moved into first place.
Well, Fernando Alonso, it's only taken 11 laps for those mediums to fall off, so much so that the hard tyre is now the better tyre to be on. And Fernando Alonso is making his move. I don't know whether that says to me that we should do a one stop or a two stop with our strategy. We're currently down to do the one stop. Depends how fast these hard tyres can get me down the road, how well they last, but I am getting quite slidey. I don't know whether it's just my driving at the minute being not up to par.
Okay, well, it wasn't to be this time, but not to worry. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's focus. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.6 seconds.
Okay. Gap in front coming down, probably because they're fighting, as opposed to us gaining pace. Gap to Sergio Perez in P6 though is growing. George is just coming with me here, dragging him along at the moment. I think in free air with both of us, I'd be the faster driver. I'm pulling George along with me. Intriguingly, Sainz didn't try and take the lead back off Alonso through here. And he's not trying to do the same into turn 9 either. Carlos Sainz seemingly, for the time being, settling for being second and getting dragged along by Fernando Alonso. George has found some pace out somewhere as well, by the way. I was comfortably dropping him, just not quite enough to open up a DRS gap. And now he is sticking with me. So either my tyres just aren't performing as well as they were, or I'm not performing as well as I was, or George has just found some pace and his tyres have come back to him. 13 to 14% on the rears, going about 1% a lap. I still don't know whether to 1-stop or 2-stop at this stage. Nearly out of DRS range of George here, but he's just gonna hold it. Or did he? Or did he through that gap? That just shot up to 1 second. We'll find out now. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No DRS for George Russell. Good. Right, no mistakes now, Ches. Extend that advantage. Teammate Charles Leclerc is up to P6 at the moment. Started 11th, and those hard tyres have gotten him past the two mediums of Perez and Verstappen. He's blitzed past Piastri. Gasly's dropped from P6 to P10. Lewis has lost a couple of positions. Nico's gained one. So Charles has made it past Lewis, Gasly, Piastri, Verstappen, and Perez. And hopefully is also closing on George Russell. As it stands, with Lance Stroll out of the points, Fernando Alonso getting 25, me getting 12, and Charles getting 8, we will finish ahead of Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship by, I think, 1 point or 2 points. It's that close right now. We need Stroll to stay out of the points. Currently started 14th and he is still running 14th. We did think that we were faster than George in free air. I anticipated once we dropped him, we would continue to drop him. That has happened. Charles is closing on George as well. He's pulling away from the two Red Bulls. Charles Leclerc trying to get himself up into P5 here. I imagine he and George are on a similar strategy. I'm closing on those in front now as well. Even though Fernando Alonso's got the hard tyres, I think Sainz is just causing him enough issue that they're not necessarily fighting, but they're also not necessarily maximising their pace. And I'm closing in a little bit. At the minute, the 1-stop is still looking like the preferred strategy at this stage for us, whilst they too. And I think we should have the pace to be able to hold them off later in the race. Concentrate. But it's going to be tight. The Constructors' Championship is very tight right now. The Drivers' Championship between me and George is clearly very tight right now.
3.3 seconds.
And the decision margins for whether to go 1-stop or 2-stop is very tight right now as well. But if I'm closing on them at this point, then surely the 1-stop is the answer. 3.1 seconds now only to K-Mag. Charles is now only 1.7 seconds behind George. You can see visually on the minimap that Leclerc is gapping those Red Bulls and closing on George. Forza Ferrari, we're having another good Grand Prix here as a team and individually. Sainz is in the pits. Carlos Sainz on lap 18 boxes. So he's in. And his 2-stop is now underway. Now how quickly Carlos gets through traffic and gains will be a very, very big piece of information for us in our decision as to whether we 1-stop or 2-stop. He's come out right behind a lot of traffic there. And how quickly he gets through it depends on whether we do or don't copy that strategy. I could go to mediums on lap 22, run them to lap 40 or so, and then do another hard stint at the end. I'm not sure what to do at the minute. Russell to Leclerc is now 3/10. So Charles is going to be past the Mercedes very soon. Charles is past the Mercedes. Russell battling hard though. It's not going to be long before Charles Leclerc is past George Russell and gapping him the same way that we did. Charles is now in P4 and he's going to stay in P4. Is K-Mag in this lap as well? He is. That's both Haas drivers in the pits for their first of 2 stops. I think a 1-stop's still the way to go for us here. Alonso's in now on lap 20. That is early from the hards. Carlos Sainz is still in traffic. He's not made any overtakes since his pit stop. We now lead the Grand Prix. Charles is in as well. Now we need to make as much time as possible. I think the 1-stop's the way forward to avoid as much traffic as possible. I think the 1-stop is how we win this race. And I mean win this race. Sainz is taking chunks of time at me. I'm going to box for mediums.
This lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
We're going to switch to a 2-stop. We're going to box for mediums now, and then we'll go to hards at the end of the race. I think it's the right decision. Oh, you...
Seems to have been a problem attaching the
God damn it, Ferrari pit crew! How many times this season? 3 seconds that cost us. Honestly, all of the swear words. That's just painful. Fuck me, man. Honestly. It's infuriating. It really is. Now I've got my teammate right with me. This Ferrari pit crew are hopeless. God damn it! Alonso's gone hard. Now I'm losing time behind my teammate. Oh, the frigging pit crew, man! They might have ruined my entire race with that one pit stop. Charles, we're on different strategies, pal. Team orders. Without the bloody way! I'm genuinely really pissed. Get me past Charles and after Max, please. Go defensive. Thank you. Don't fight it, Charles. Thank you. Let it happen. Oh, I'm so annoyed. We'll go to hard tyres next on about lap 38, maybe. Depending on how long these medium tyres last.
Okay, mate. Charles is behind you now. They're faster than you, mate. They're faster
No,
than you.
no,
11-3, please.
no.
Okay,
Furious.
Thanks for doing that, mate. I know it's not nice, but head down and let's focus on your own race.
You are costing me the race victory here, Ferrari. Asking me to... Firstly, screwing up my pit stop. Secondly, asking me to let Charles through. I can't believe it! We were genuinely potentially on for a 4th straight race victory. Loud noises! I know I need to make sure I undercut, so I'm going to box lap 36. I'm going to box 36 for a set of hards. That's the current plan. Charles is just faster than me in a straight line. This is infuriating. Without the pit stop mistake, I'm ahead of Max and closing in on Fernando. But because of the pit stop error, it's ruined my Grand Prix. That one pit stop error has genuinely ruined our race. The whole strategy's come tumbling down. I should have just stayed out and done the one stop, shouldn't I? Oh, damn it. Now I'm getting held up behind my teammate again. Move, Charles. Thank you. That was just me getting aggressive and putting him in the position of he either holds the line and we have contact, or he gives the place up and lets me through. There is no team orders here now. This is tooth and nail fighting for position and for lap time. The gap to Fernando continues to come down, but look at the gap out front to Carlos Sainz. That's the one we're trying to close. It's the one we're not going to be able to close. A podium is still a possibility, but Fernando's got medium tyres to go on to next. The only thing I'm interested in now is closing the gap to the front three. Verstappen is just easy meat. Verstappen isn't part of our grand picture. Can get past him now. And go after the next two, next three. Give over, Max.
Good job, nice overtake.
Max Verstappen dealt with. Like I say, I'm going to box about lap 38. Go away, Charles, for God's sake. Every other Ferrari personnel, be that pit crew or driver, is trying their best to ruin my race here. Trying to get a victory, boys! What are you doing to me? There's nothing I can do about Charles here. I've just got to let him take me. As long as we're still gaining on those three in front, I have to keep faith that we can still get the win. Charles was squirming all over the place there in the traction zone. Go defensive. Thank you. Gaps in front are coming down, at least to second and third anyway.
We're trailing the car ahead by 3.6 seconds.
I think they're all running without DRS on the other, so no one is dragging anyone else along. Meaning every lap we get DRS, regardless of whether we've been overtaken or are getting overtaken, is genuinely actually helping us close. As frustrating as this has been, yo-yoing DRS with my teammate is actually perhaps helping me close them down. More so than it would have been if I was just running my own race without battling with Charles. I don't know whether to box this lap or next. I think the Hasses might be in next lap. So I'm going to box this lap. I am going to box this lap. I'm almost certain Carlos Sainz is going to box on lap 36. So I'm going to come in now. I'm not sure where we'll come out. Good pit stop, please, you shithouses.
Okay, let's go now.
Where was that the first time round, eh?
Fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
We're going to come out behind Piastri and Russell, but hopefully ahead of that next group.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Staying ahead of that gaggle of cars is going to be absolutely crucial. I cannot afford to have to make that many overtakes. That's huge. Absolutely massive. That is quite literally perfection. Now we have to hope that when Carlos Sainz boxes, he comes out in that traffic, which he almost certainly won't. But me not having to get through that traffic means that I can maximise my pace on my fresh tyres. That first white dot is going to be boxing this lap. I put my house on it. He's in. I told you, I am not homeless. I just gained a house. Carlos Sainz is also going to be going to a hard tyre because he's run 2 sets of mediums so far. Max Verstappen is also in. Only a lap after me, which will keep him competitive to us because he'll have had DRS off Charles Leclerc for a bit. Now we're trying to gain on Alonso and Magnussen effectively for a P2.
Tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
We're trying to finish second. I think the win is beyond us. Unless Sainz gets held up drastically behind the Mercedes and then Red Bull of Perez, but I don't think that'll happen. Sainz still behind the Mercedes at the moment, which is good news for us. Verstappen's having a look. Can't afford to fight with Max. I just need to be able to run my own maximum pace from now until the end of the Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen is in. He's boxing now. Alonso's going longer. Alonso's gone hard. He's running a medium stint at the end of the race.
Okay,
Checo's got out of the way as well.
Okay, gap to the car.
Sainz now right behind the Mercedes of George Russell. There's Kevin. That's Magnussen. The gap was about, what, 4 seconds when we boxed? It's now 1.4 seconds. Might have even been more to K-Mag than that. Max is going to be a pain in the backside, though. Oh, I'm really losing time behind Kevin now.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake.
And we're about to catch a handful of more cars as well. Kevin's going to get DRS too, which will make him harder to overtake. Oh, what could have been without that one dodgy pit stop? Bloody hell. It's so infuriating. I might even have been in front of Carlos Sainz right now if it weren't for that one dodgy pit stop. I'm at half throttle, for Christ's sake. Kevin's going to get them both. This is huge for him. It's not great for me. Now Charles is in. Alonso's in too. This is where I need to be making the most of my pace, and I just can't.
Stop now.
Lewis is in. Good, that's one car out the way. Sainz is out. Not Sainz is out, Sainz is still going. Alonso's coming now. We've undercut Fernando Alonso. So we're now running a net P3. We're running a net podium. but I'm chasing the two Haas. Kevin, I am certain I'm faster than. Carlos, I think, is quicker than me, but at the minute, we're getting DRS on a number of different drivers. So at the minute, look at the pace difference. Wow. Around the outside, perhaps. At the minute, I am gaining lap time on Carlos Sainz whilst I'm getting DRS on others. But the gap to Sainz is what, 5-6 seconds maybe? We're certainly going to be finishing P6 in the championship. And with Carlos Sainz running P1 right now, we're certainly not going to be finishing P5 in the championship. I'm right behind Kevin. We'll soon find out what the gap to Carlos is. As I said, the fastest lap of the race, it's 5.3 seconds. That's what I have to overcome if I want a victory, but I'm certain that Carlos Sainz is faster than me. We'll try and take Kevin here. There's not really much try about it. I'm taking Kevin here. DRS there massively helps. We just gained a whole second on Carlos Sainz because of it. But now without it, when we're both in free air, as we found out in Las Vegas, Carlos Sainz is just the faster driver. There he is. That's the race win I'm looking at. Another fastest lap of the race.
Keep this up. Well done.
I'm absolutely certain that Carlos Sainz is faster than me. Nearly out of DRS range to K-Mag though. Not having to worry about those three behind could be huge. And Alonso is going to have to get through Verstappen and Magnussen. It should be pretty straightforward for him, but he is still going to have to get through them. As things stand, we are definitely going to be finishing ahead of Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship. We're going to be P2 for Ferrari. I'm going to be P6 in the drivers. But can we win this race and win 4 in a row? The hat-trick of Grand Prix victories at the end of the season to send us into the third season in the highest of spirits. The gap to Carlos Sainz is coming down. 15 and a half laps to go. Kevin's actually gapped Alonso and Verstappen, but Alonso has managed to make his way past the Red Bull on those medium tyres. We did see, though, from the first stint, when the Haasers were on the mediums and Alonso was on the hards, that after about 11 laps or so, Alonso on the hard tyre was the faster car. So we have to hope that Alonso's medium tyres will die before the end and will be on the better tyre. Gap to Carlos Sainz is still coming down. And I think it's just coming down by enough that we will catch him before the end if the gap falls at that consistent rate. I cannot get drawn into a battle with anyone behind me. I'm bringing this entire train with me here. We're going to turn this from a Carlos Sainz straightforward victory as Piastri takes my fastest lap, son of a bitch. Oh, Alonso's taken P3. And as such, they've dropped out of DRS range behind. The point I was about to make might not be valid. I might not be bringing a whole train with me. Magnussen and Alonso fighting. No, I'm not. It's going to be just a two-way fight because Alonso's going to keep battling with Verstappen, with Magnussen, with Charles Leclerc, and Alonso's tyres, despite being better right now, are going to be worse at the end of the race. So I was going to bring 4 drivers with me, and it was going to be a 6-way fight for the win. It's not, though. It's going to be a 2-way fight for the win between me and Carlos Sainz. Again. I wasn't expecting it to be the case, but we are the faster car right now. We're right on the back of Carlos Sainz now, but we have to make sure we do this the right way. Fernando Alonso is still loitering. I don't want to do it in a way that brings Fernando Alonso back into the fight. I want to keep Alonso out of DRS range behind if we can. But I don't know whether I can do that. I don't think waiting until late in the race like we did in Qatar is the way forward for this particular occasion. I think I need to get past Carlos as soon as possible and try and just gap him. We're evidently the faster car.
Use overtake.
Not going to get a fastest lap point, unfortunately, because Piastri's just nabbed that. But the win is at the minute heavily favoured our way, trying to keep Fernando out of a second's gap, and we have just about done that.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres.
Oh, we were starting to catch. Thanks for that, Mark. Starting to catch. It has to be now. Around the outside, have the inside, get a decent enough exit so that with battery, which we're going to have to absolutely drain and take an inside line, hopefully we can keep the lead. Which we have to, whoa, which we haven't done. Oh God!
Keep on him, he might make a
And guess who's just arrived in the background? Hi, Fernando. I'm in a Spanish sandwich. That was a giant tank slapper. Just shows how hard we're pushing to try and get this victory. Coming up on a back marker now as well. I think I need to be in a position where I'm P1 and I can get DRS on the back marker. And hopefully maintain my lead because of it. Carlos is just going to settle in behind me here rather than try and fight alongside. And this time, I think we've got a big enough gap, even though again I'm going to have to drain my battery really all the way down. Take it better this time. Hold the line. Don't lose your back end. That's the lead, and the lead held. Now I need Sainz to hold up Alonso. And I need to catch that Williams and get DRS off the back of it, please. The gap behind now. We're just so much stronger through Sector 3. It's my weakest part of the circuit. Whenever we do Creator Series, whenever I play against other humans, I am slower through Sector 3.
gap to your teammate behind.
But at the minute, with this Ferrari, with the upgrades on it, and with the extra downforce we're running... God, these tank slappers, though. Oh, God damn it. Hi, Carlos. I'm going to lose the lead and second place here. I will be third by the end of the straight. And I'm going to save my battery. There's no point fighting it. It's not over yet. It really isn't. Max Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen and Charles Leclerc still want to be part of the picture as well. Alonso's just taken the lead. He's taken Carlos Sainz, but Sainz will now have DRS. The fight continues. Williams is very much in the distance now. Those three behind still sit there. At the end of this lap, I will have 3 laps to take 2 positions to finish in P1. Now we'll see how much pace Alonso has on those medium tyres at the end of his stint. It's quite obvious that Carlos Sainz does not have the pace required. But because I didn't quite get the move done the first time round,
Leading our teammate by take 2.9 seconds.
With that big snap of oversteer, it brought Fernando into the question. Now Fernando might be disappearing with a victory.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah, you're telling me. Not about the car behind. The car in front. 3 laps to go. 1.4 seconds to gap to Fernando. I need to take Carlos now. We've gotten there.
Nice move. Good job.
Now we need to make sure that Alonso's still catchable, and I've got DRS. Huge. Alonso is still catchable. The DRS will ensure that we stay with him and keep Carlos Sainz behind. Now I need to have nothing but perfection between now and the end of the race, and the victory's there, but it is going to be a last lap overtake if it's to happen on Fernando Alonso. And my rear tyres are not happy.
Okay, this is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
Final lap of the race, final lap of the season. It's not great at all. The car's all over the place. No DRS. I'm going to finish third. Car was all over the shop there. The rear tyres are gone. I'm going to have to use all my battery to try and get DRS off Fernando here, which we will have as Sainz tries to take P2 again. And I don't have DRS. I'm going to finish third, so I'm going to have to use all my battery here, and Sainz is going to take me. We will not win 3 straight Grand Prix at the end of the season. Fernando Alonso's done enough. The fairy tale didn't quite happen. Oh, but it's because my rear tyres, as you can see from the way that they're just giving up on me, haven't had enough in the bank to be able to get it done. A P2 is still obviously very, very, very good. And if it weren't for that pit stop, Mr. Ferrari pit crew people, and losing 3 seconds, then we would have got the win, wouldn't we?
But if you're up for it, we'll come back next season. We'll definitely do better.
We are in a strong position as things stand before we factor in the before we factor in the registration. Before we factor in the regulation changes, we're in a very strong position to challenge for a World Championship next season.
I know a lot of you will be very sad out there.
I will finish ahead of George Russell. We will finish behind Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, actually. Carlos Sainz finishes P4 in the end in the drivers. In the constructors, we hold on by 7 points over Aston Martin, as Fernando Alonso got the win there, which made it slightly more concerning than it need be. Oh, what could have been, eh? What could have been? We've gotten, I presume that's 10 probably, podium finishes in our career thus far. We're very nearly 84 rated. Still only 37% with the recognition to Charles, though. Surely that improves as we move into the next season. I certainly hope so. It really arguably should have been 4 straight victories. I can go on and on about the Ferrari pit stop, and I did, but I made a handful of my own mistakes as well, didn't I? With losing the back end, etc. It is indeed 10 podium finishes for my career. Congratulations on a fine season. You've met the contractual target, impressed everyone at the team this season. They are committed to continuing the relationship moving forward, so in a few days I will come and grab you to negotiate your contract for next season. Not sure whether that should happen, because I signed a 2-year deal. So I don't know whether I should be going to contract negotiations here or not. Apparently, with what passed in the most recent in-between races section, we've moved into 2nd place in the R&D progress. There are your final standings for the season, though. We'll wait and see what driver changes happen in in the summer. In the winter, now, I'll go to the negotiations, but as far as I'm aware, I have an outstanding second season contract at Ferrari that we're just going to stick with. Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to hand me paper? Talk to me, love. Well, I guess this is an update to my current Ferrari contract. I'm not going to get to 91. It recommends 86. If I set it to 87, like, I just get a 1% boost on my recognition. So I'll set it to 87. We'll sign the contract, and we will stay at Ferrari for another year. We were doing that anyway. It's just an update to our current Ferrari contract rather than signing a new deal. But I guess that's maybe because we performed so well in that season. I imagine so anyway. Regardless, what's the hierarchy going to look like as we get to the next season? We'll find out in a moment. The winter is here. Resource points are added, but we don't have enough to put anything on, so we will finish the season and head to season 3. Oh, what's going to happen, Ches? I don't know, Ches. All right, well, thanks for giving me the 38%. Cheers, then. Statistics. 2 wins this season. Season complete. Pole position 0, Sag. Championship points 195, which was more than we got the season before. Championship position 6. Driver rating 84. We have gone up 1 more as we progress into the new season. Plus 7. My recognition went up by 1% this year. It's currently reading as 37%, but it should obviously be 38, judging by my contract extension. So we will do, of course, a full 24 race season. We will continually leave Brazil out and race at Portugal, I think. I don't think we'll make any other changes outside of that. I don't think I want to bring Brazil back in for somewhere else. So I think we will just continue on with the same track list that we used this year. Because the AI are still super mega OP at Brazil. So we will stay at Ferrari, we will confirm settings, and we will move on into Season 3. Now then, we're not going to do any of these, I don't think. I'm pretty sure we didn't want to do these. There are some more Season 2 objectives that have unlocked here. Chip shortage, minor upgrade only, balancing out the field, endless resources. I think we're just not going to do any. We might factor in some R&D scenarios for our My Team save, but we won't do anything here as we move from Season 2 into Season 3. So, where is the Ferrari on the scale? Are we still second? Are we the fastest team? Has someone else eclipsed us? Who's prepared best for the new season? 2 front wing aspects pass. Driver moves. Oh! Sergio Magnussen is no longer driving. Kevin Magnussen's been dropped by Haas. Checo has taken that seat. And Ollie Behrman is now going to be a Red Bull driver for the upcoming season. We are, on paper, the fastest car, supposedly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be challenging, we hope, for a World Championship this season. Resource points added. I don't think we have enough to upgrade anywhere at this moment in time. We will quickly check here.
New parts have come through without any issue.
Pretty sure we don't.
Ready for the next race.
I need 1,500 for the rear downforce. Brakes we need 1,000 for. Weight redistribution we need 888 for. We do have a discount there though. Alright. Just got to keep saving our resource points. Season objectives. Confident the car will be competitive from the start of the season. We expect you to be racing in the front of the field. Make sure you work hard at car development so we can maintain our advantage to the chasing pack. I agree. Go to the grid reveal where Yuki Tsunoda will gain about 6 inches in height. But Ollie Behrman in a Red Bull is not something I think we'll ever see in real life. He's going to be in a Haas IRL next year. Carlos Sainz has Sergio Perez as his teammate now. Teo Pourchaire keeps his Williams spot. There's only 2 changes on the grid. Fernando Alonso still in the team and racing hard. I will stay alongside Charles Leclerc as Ferrari teammate. And together, we will go for broke to try and win the constructors and personally the drivers. Season 3 is hopefully going to be a championship contending season. Whether it's a championship winning season or not, obviously, time will tell. But certainly we hope it's going to be a championship contending season. So obviously there will be no rain in Bahrain. We know that the AI are super strong in Bahrain. We did last year drop the difficulty from 106 to 103 for that. But with the scenario as it is right now, with us supposedly having the best car, I will leave it at 105. We'll go to the race weekend where it will be fully dry and we will be, on paper, the fastest car. But will we be on track the fastest car? Well, time will tell. Join me in Season 3 next time out. I do have a question for you, however. For Season 3, do we turn mechanical retirements for me, the user, back on? Or do we leave them off for now? I'd be inclined to turn them back on, and then if it turns into a shit show again, turn them off again. But I will take your feedback on board before I record the first episode of Season 3, because this is going to be the last time that I play F1 for about 3 days. So by the time you've seen this, I should be able to get your feedback, and then we can enact that for Season 3 when we start racing. So please do leave that feedback. Make sure you leave a like as well. Let me know your comments in general about what you thought Season 2, or how you thought Season 2 went, and where you think we could finish in Season 3. But join me in Season 3 at Bahrain, in Ferrari once more, in supposedly the best car. I'm a little bit excited. Are you? I'll see you in Season 3. Ta-ta!